Hey guys, it's Shelby from Big Cat Creative, and in this video, we are going to talk about the difference between Canva websites and Squarespace websites. If you've watched any of our videos before or read our blog, then you'll know that at Big Cat Creative, we are huge fans of Squarespace, but we're also really big fans of Canva and use them every single day for graphics. So when they launched their website builder, we were super intrigued. And if you are getting ready to create and launch your own website, then this is the video for you because we are going to walk you through exactly how Canva websites and Squarespace websites compare, how they work, what you can and can't do on them, and all of the pros and cons. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First things first, let's talk about the editing experience, since this is where you'll spend most of your time, and it sets the tone for how enjoyable or frustrating building your website is going to be. The great thing about Canva websites is that if you've used their editing platform before, then you know how free and fluid their drag and drop design experience is, and the exact same goes for their website experience. You can start with either a blank page or use a template. And then from there, you can essentially use any of the features that you would use creating a Canva graphic. So you can add in templates, you can use all of their various design elements, text, uploads, all different types of features. And there's pretty much no layout constraints, so you can add any element you want and place it anywhere within this page. There's no sections, no grids, everything is basically completely freeform. The pro to this is that you can get as creative as you want and make any type of design choice that you please. But it also means that you are completely in control of the layout and the design and making sure that everything is balanced and readable. You also have complete control over the styling of each individual element on the page. So that means that you can go through and customize the font and the color of every single piece of text, as well as the color and the style of every other element that you add to the page. And you can also use all of Canva's handy branding features to help you stay organized with your color palettes and your fonts. So again, editing in Canva websites is super flexible. You have pretty much endless options for adding new pieces of content and customizing them. However, it can be a little overwhelming if you're not super experienced in design or if you don't have a lot of time to sit and fully customize each individual element of the page. And although the Canva platform is super intuitive and very easy to use, things can get messy pretty quick if you don't have an eye for detail. So that's just something to keep in mind here. Squarespace, on the other hand, takes a slightly more structured editing approach because you build your site using pre-designed content blocks within a grid. Blocks like image, text, newsletter signups, buttons, things like that get stacked within a Squarespace section that's made up of a grid. And because of this structure, you can't get too wild with your design, or at least not as wild as you can go in Canva. Squarespace does offer quite a wide variety of types of content blocks, like shapes and text and forms. And they do also allow you to add custom blocks through code, but there's not going to be as unlimited amount of options as there are within Canva's design platform. Your fonts, colors, and other design elements will also be set globally over here in your site styles panel, which means that you only have to set things up once, and then it's all going to stay consistent throughout your site according to what you set over here. This is really nice for organization and consistency, but it doesn't allow you as much freedom and flexibility as the Canva design platform. Once you get familiar with the Squarespace Fluid Engine design platform, it's really pretty easy to work with, but there is a little bit more of a learning curve compared to Canva, and it is less visually free because you have to work within that structured grid. Overall, when it comes to editing, Squarespace is going to give you some really helpful structure and global styling, while Canva will give you a little bit more artistic freedom. Now let's move on to templates. A good template can save you hours of design time and help you get a polished, professional-looking site without hiring a professional designer. So it's really important to know what your template options are with both Canva and Squarespace. Canva actually offers a massive library of templates. I think right now they have over 800 and they are continuing to add more. These templates are all going to be really eye-catching, modern, and designed specifically for visual impact. Now, with over 800 templates, there's probably a bit too many to choose from, but it's nice to have basically an endless amount of options if you really aren't sure where you want to start. You can definitely find some inspiration scrolling through their template options. You'll notice that all of the Canva templates are almost like social media graphics stretched into a longer web page because in Canva, the focus is definitely on style. And this is really great if you're looking for a quick website solution that's really visually beautiful. The biggest con about Canva's website templates is that you're not going to find anything that's really focused on page structure or anything designed for a larger, more content-heavy website. Most of their templates are best suited to very simple websites or just one-page websites. But they are very nice looking nonetheless. Squarespace, on the other hand, takes a much more strategic approach to their templates. There are fewer options to choose from. However, each template is going to come with a full completed site layout already built in. So you're going to get things like a homepage, an about page, a services and contact page, a blog, and often even other options as well. Their templates are designed with looks in mind, but also with function in mind. So they're built to guide your visitors through your site with a thoughtful page flow and an easy navigation. Squarespace also provides recommendations for what they think each template is best suited for. So if they think that it's best for a portfolio, they'll note that, or if it's best for product-based businesses or service providers, etc. Squarespace's templates are definitely a little bit more straightforward and less flashy than the Canva templates, but they still look really great and are a super nice starting point. So if you're looking to build a fully functional, content-heavy website with a lot of room to grow, Squarespace's templates are going to give you that really solid foundation to start from, whereas Canva's templates are a little bit better if you're looking to get a website up and running quickly that's really visually striking. However, at the end of the day, the templates actually don't play that big of a role because both of these platforms allow you to fully customize any template that you start with. So you might end up making things look completely different anyways. And if you're looking for a beautiful, strategically built Squarespace template that is ready to go and saves you hours of design time, we've got you covered with our premium Squarespace templates, so be sure to check those out at the link in the description below this video. Next, let's talk about SEO. SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization, is all about how your website shows up in Google. It's what helps somebody find your site when they type something into a search bar, even if they've never heard you before. So for small businesses or content creators or anyone trying to grow an audience online, good SEO can be a huge game changer. So let's talk about the difference between SEO in Canva websites and Squarespace. To put it plainly, Canva offers the absolute basics. Once you're ready to publish your website after you've designed it, you can click on Publish Website up here in the top right-hand corner, and then Publish Settings. Here you're going to find the minimal items of SEO that you can customize. Up here is your browser tab preview, which allows you to change the title that shows up in the browser of your website. So you can click the pencil icon here and change that. And you can also choose to add a website description here. And your website description is the short amount of text that you'll see in search results. You can also click on Advanced Settings and turn on the search engine visibility option. But that is pretty much it. There are no options for image alt text, URL customization, structured data, or anything else more advanced that are going to help search engines understand your website. So it's going to be a little bit harder for people to find you organically when you build your website through Canva. Squarespace, however, has a full suite of built-in SEO tools. You can edit titles, meta descriptions, image alt text. You can create custom page URLs and custom page titles and descriptions. Squarespace also automatically generates your sitemap. It integrates with different Google tools like Google search keywords and ensures that your site is mobile responsive and secure, all of which really help boost your search rankings. So if you want to be found on Google, especially for blog posts, local services, or niche topics, all of these things are really important, and Squarespace is going to offer that to you. We also have a full SEO checklist for Squarespace that deep dives into some of these individual elements. So if you're interested in learning more about that, go check it out on our blog. Speaking of blogs, let's dive into blogging tools next. Blogging is one of the most powerful ways to grow your site traffic, boost your SEO, and show up as the expert in your space. But not every website platform is built for blogging, so here is how Canva and Squarespace compare. Canva, unfortunately, does not currently have a native blogging feature. That means there's no blog feed, no post categories or tags, and really no built-in way for people to browse blog posts in general. The only way that you could technically build a blog on a Canva template is to create an individual page for each blog post and then link them together manually. But it's a lot of work and it doesn't really function like a true blog. Right now, Canva creates a navigation or a menu for your website based on the names of the pages that you create. So this is one page that I have right here. And if I come down to this little window at the bottom and click on the three dots, at the very top, you can see I can add a title to that page. So let's title this page 1. Now I'm going to have one page titled page 1 in my website navigation. So if I wanted to create a blog post or multiple blog posts, what I could do is add a new page and title it whatever I wanted the title of my blog post to be. Then, when it's time to publish my website, I would click on Publish Website and then click the Include Navigation menu option right here. This is going to add a menu to my website. If I expand this, you can see it up here. That includes each of the pages that I've created. So here you can see I have page 1 and blog post. Now, technically, that works for people to be able to navigate through your various blog posts, but there's no way to customize that navigation or create drop-down menus. So essentially, you would just end up with a bunch of blog posts in your navigation up at the top of your website. This isn't ideal, but if Canva websites is your only option and you really want to start a blog, it is definitely something that you can explore. However, if blogging is a core part of your content strategy, unfortunately, Canva just isn't going to cut it. And that is where Squarespace comes into play because Squarespace is actually built for bloggers. It includes a full featured blogging system with everything you need. Everything from post scheduling to categories, tags, excerpts, search functionality, RSS feeds. Honestly, you name it, Squarespace has it when it comes to blogs. You can also enable comments if that's your thing. You can enable feature posts on other pages and style your blog to match the design of the rest of your website. You can even add a pricing plan to monetize your blog by placing it behind a paywall. So there are lots of options when it comes to blogging in Squarespace. It's also all really easy to use, well integrated, and plays nicely with Squarespace's SEO tools, which means that every blog post is another chance to get found online, which is the ultimate goal. Overall, if blogging is a part of your business plan, or even if it's just something that you might want to try later on down the road, Squarespace is the clear winner here. Now let's get into forms, which is often where growing your audience begins. Whether you're asking people to get in touch, sign up for your newsletter, or request a quote, your website needs a way to collect that info. Canva doesn't have its own native form builder yet, but there are a few workarounds. They do allow you to embed some third-party forms using tools like Jotform, Typeform, or Google Forms, and they even have an app which you can access over here in the left sidebar for Jotform, so you can easily go ahead and integrate this app directly into the website that you're building. These embedded forms will get the job done, but they're not going to match your design perfectly. And managing the form responses or connecting them to your email software often takes some extra steps. There's not going to be any direct integration with email platforms like Mailchimp or ConvertKit, so you'll need to set those things up externally, and that takes a little bit of extra time and effort on your part. All in all, there are ways to embed some limited forms to your Canva website, but it's not exactly ideal. Squarespace, on the other hand, has everything you need built right in. You can drop in a newsletter sign-up form in any section using blocks. So this right here is a newsletter block that's already been added. You can also use contact blocks by clicking on Add Block and then choosing Form. You can style these blocks to match your site and connect them to platforms like MailChimp, ConvertKit, Google Sheets, Zapier, and more. Squarespace even has their own email marketing service that you can add on and connect directly to your newsletter blocks if you'd like, which keeps everything in one place and is really easy. And if you ever did want to integrate a different form type or email marketing software, Squarespace makes it also really easy to do that by using a code block. So all you need to do is grab the embed code from whatever third-party platform you're using, add a code block, and then input that into whichever section you'd like, and it will integrate. Now, if you are using any kind of third-party platform, then you might be able to get away with using Canva templates, since it is still possible to connect third-party platforms over there. But if you want to really easily and conveniently collect contacts, emails, or leads in a smooth and organized way, Squarespace is going to be the stronger choice. Which brings me to my next point, which is business growth tools. So the tools and features that actually help you to grow your business are really important when you think about your website as the hub of your business and not just a pretty thing to look at. Things like tracking site and connecting email platforms or appointment calendars are going to be really important as your business grows. We already know that Squarespace has a lot of really great integration options, but Squarespace as a whole is also built to grow with your business. Because of this, you automatically are given things like a full analytics dashboard right in your account, where you can see things like page views, traffic sources, device types, and more. You can also connect Google search keywords like we talked about earlier to learn which keywords are driving traffic to your site and how you can optimize that. Squarespace also includes a full e-commerce setup that comes with your subscription. So if you ever wanted to sell products or services or grow your existing shop, you can do so directly from the Squarespace platform. You can invoice clients, set up member-only content areas, accept donations, and you can also connect to Acuity scheduling if you have services to offer and need to keep all of your scheduling in one place. Not only does Squarespace provide a ton of resources to help you grow your business, but they can also back it up and stick with you as you do grow so that you don't need to ever host your website anywhere else. Now, when it comes to growing your business through Canva websites, they do offer some basic built-in analytics and growth features. However, they're going to be better for getting something up quickly and temporarily. If you've created a website and published it through Canva websites, once you're in your editor, you can go ahead and click on this analytics symbol up in the top bar, which will open up some limited analytic options. You can see things like total unique views, unique visitors, and top performing pages directly within the platform, which is handy. And you can also upgrade to Canva Pro to see a few more advanced analytics. You can also view external traffic analytics like public view links and sharing to social media. These things are handy for keeping tabs on how your site is doing, but at the end of the day, they're not going to give you a ton of advanced insight. We also already went over the limited options for connecting third-party platforms to your website, things like Jotform or MailChimp, but none of these things are native to the platform, and it often requires signing up for multiple external accounts and making tweaks to those to fit your Canva website. And in the end, it's just not necessarily easy or sustainable. There's also currently no built-in support for e-commerce, memberships, or automated workflows. So at the end of the day, you're probably going to want to stick with Squarespace if your website is ultimately meant to do more than just look pretty. If your goal is business growth, that's going to be a little bit trickier to achieve through Canva websites. Now let's chat about mobile responsiveness. Let's be real, most people are visiting your website from their phone these days. So if your site doesn't look good on mobile, you're going to lose out on a big chunk of your audience. Mobile design is unfortunately very limited through Canva websites. And by that, I mean there is no way to manually adjust your mobile layout. So Canva does automatically generate a mobile version of your site based on how you laid out your desktop view. And sometimes that looks great and sometimes it doesn't. In order to view how your website is going to look on mobile, up here in the top right-hand corner, you can click on Preview and then choose the mobile icon up here in the top right. And that's going to give you this mobile view that you can scroll through and see how things look. Now, if you're scrolling through and you realize that a section looks a little bit off, unfortunately, the only way to fix it is to go back into your editor and change things on desktop until it looks how you want it to look. Now, this means that you might have to really drastically change the design that you created in order to get what you're trying to go for on mobile view. This can be frustrating because you might want things to look a certain way, but it might not work for mobile. So you're just going to have to play around with things until you get something that you're happy with. Now, when it comes to mobile optimization in Squarespace, it is much easier to create a design that you're happy with. Not only does Squarespace automatically use responsive design by default, but the new Fluid Engine editor also allows you to tweak your mobile layout separately if needed. To view the mobile design in Squarespace, you can click on the mobile view icon up here in the top right-hand corner and scroll through to see how things look. If something is a little bit wonky or if you'd like to change the order of things, you can click edit just like you would to edit your website like normal and resize objects or move them around until you're happy with how things look. You'll then notice that if you switch back into desktop view, everything looks exactly as it did before, regardless of the changes that you made in mobile view. This is super nice for mobile optimization and customization because you can essentially create a completely unique mobile design. There are a few exceptions to the rule. For example, you can't change the content of your copy or an image without it changing on desktop, but resizing, moving things around, and switching up the alignment of things is totally customizable. It's definitely not a perfect system. Things can still be a little clunky, but you get a ton more control and flexibility in mobile design and optimization in Squarespace than you do in Canva. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about cost comparison. The cool thing is that both Canva and Squarespace have either free trials or low cost starting points, but what are you actually going to get for your money? Canva Websites actually has a completely free plan, which is a really amazing entry point. You can literally come to canva.com/website-builder and click create a Canva website and start on a completely free plan and publish your website for completely free. If you do this, you are going to have a Canva branded domain. So it'll be something like yoursite.my.canva.site, which is a little long-winded, but hey, it's free. And you'll also get access to a really good range of templates and features. Now, you can also unlock more, like connecting your own domain or accessing premium templates and elements by upgrading to Canva Pro, which does start around $15 a month for one person. If you have a team, you'll have to go up to Canva Teams. And just a little note, you can save 16% if you pay annually, which would put you up to $120 for the entire year for Canva Pro. Squarespace, on the other hand, does not offer a free plan, but they do offer a 14-day free trial, which is great. And their pricing plans start at around $16 per month if you pay annually. And with Squarespace, even on the lowest plan, you get access to powerful design tools, built-in SEO, forms, blog functionality, mobile optimization, all these things that we just talked about in the video, as well as a really great customer support and help center. And if you choose one of their higher tiers, you get a lot of other features unlocked, including more advanced analytics, scheduling features, e-commerce, and custom code access. At the end of the day, you'll have to go over all of the things that we talk about in this video to determine what's most important to you. But if budget is your number one concern and you're just looking for something that is fast and simple, Canva is going to be a great low cost or even free choice for you. Squarespace is more expensive, but you're going to get a whole suite of more advanced features. So it's really just up to what's important to you and your business at this point. All in all, both Squarespace and Canva are really amazing tools. And there really is no one size fits all answer here. It just comes down to what you're building, what your priorities are, and how much you want your website to do for you. And even though at Big Cat Creative we are strongly Team Squarespace, we have a ton of respect for what Canva is doing with their new websites feature, and we can't wait to see how it continues to develop. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you enjoyed it and you want more content like this, please be sure to follow us and subscribe to our channel. We post new videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next one.